How's it going, everybody? This is Cameron White with White Light Astrology, and I'm here to bring you guys your weekly what the heck is going on in the universe forecast. Wow, this last week was really interesting, wasn't it? It was really powerful with the Scorpio full moon and the North Node moving, all that kind of stuff. With all of that being said, this past week we really stepped into a whole new world, I guess you want to say. With the North Node being in Leo, and with all this Scorpio full moon intensity that we just experienced, it was like being able to fully enwrap yourself in all of your emotions and be able to really be able to understand the things that truly empower you and being able to wear that. And with this North Node in Leo now, the direction that you need to be going in and the big emphasis about everything is what's giving you the most personal power. Where are you being able to show up in a leader in your life and give more love to people and give more love to yourself? And as this North Node, like at 29 degrees Leo, it's like really intense. And with all this full moon, with the full moon in Scorpio that we just experienced, it was like being able to release all of these emotions and this negative energy that we could have had attached to it. And now with this week, we have so much good things going on this week. I'm really, really excited. And I just wanted to tee up what I'm about to say for this week with the fact that we stepped into a new world. We're in a new light where we are starting to experience more of our true authentic selves, and we're being able to express that more, and we're not afraid to hold back on what it is that we truly want. And that's just going to be coming up more and more and more this week as we have Venus leaving its shadow. We have Mercury leaving its shadow. Pluto will stop squaring Mercury. We'll have a grand air trine. There's a lot more going on. So like on Monday, the moon will be conjuncting Pluto, and it will be squaring Venus and Jupiter, making this nice little T-square going on as Venus and Jupiter oppose, still having us look at relationships and what's our relationship with ourselves and how that manifests in our reality. And what is it that the more and more that we go to our true desires and our true wants and our needs, and as we get more and more clear on that, the more and more the universe is going to bless us with relationships that are in alignment with that. So if you're in a situation where you don't like the people you're working with, you don't like the people that you're dealing with or anything like that, you have to go back down to what you're worth and what your value is and start reevaluating that and start taking a better look at that and acting on how valuable you are and how worthy you are of the things that you want. And that's when things are going to start blessing you. And on Monday, as this moon goes over into Capricorn, we're going to be focusing on our emotions, because that's where the center of this T-square is going to be. As the moon conjuncts Pluto, it's going to be, we're still with this Pluto energy, we're transforming these basic things like Capricorn rules earth, it rules money, taxes, government, rules, regulations, all of these things that are set in stone. And as the moon's going over that, it's our emotions that we have this built belief structure on. And as it conjuncts Pluto, we're still, every single month as the moon goes over to Capricorn, we're looking at how we're changing that and how we're deeply transforming the basis of what we establish our emotions on. And so on Monday, as it conjuncts Pluto, let go of what system that you used to operate from. It's time to operate from a new system, from a new place of beingness, from a new understanding, and being able to wear more of this Venus and Aries energy of what's more powerful, what's better, all that kind of stuff. Mercury will be at 29 degrees Aries. It is that last final degree of Aries. It's that intensity. It could feel like, especially with this Uranus and Mercury stuff, it could feel a lot of anxiety could be brought up, and a lot of fears and a lot of insecurities. However, this Mercury in Aries, you want to use this last 29 degrees as we move into Taurus. You want to use that for that last spark. It's like you could be sitting in a camp. You could be, what's that one show? It's like not Naked and Afraid, but the guy, I can't remember his name. The guy that goes out into the wilderness, he has to basically figure it out on his own. And, he's got to be able to eat and start a fire and all that stuff. And you could be sitting there, in the cold, and it's raining and it's wet, and you're just trying to sit there and start a fire, and you could be so close to giving up. With Monday, with Mercury being at 29 degrees Aries, don't give up. Like, that spark will come tomorrow. That spark will come, or I should say today, since you guys will probably be starting to watch this on Monday. However, that spark's going to come. You just keep using the tinder, keep, hitting the rocks, keep twisting the stick, whatever it is. And the other thing too with this whole weekend as we went into is Mars is going to be sextiling Venus. So this is going back into if you really want to see the fruition and you want to start taking action on what it is that you desire, you got to be clear about it. And you got to be not only clear, you have to feel it, you have to experience it, and you have to embrace it. Like, this is going back to the North Node in Leo. This is all about your authentic self. This is all about what puts you in power and what puts you in a place of leadership, of being bold, of being courageous, of giving love and having fun, and, you know, being able to create and enjoy life. You know, Leo rules all these fifth house things of love and romance and pleasure and children and all this type of stuff. And you want to be able to wear that with yourself. And as Mars is sextiling Venus, this is a good time to start embracing that inner love, that inner desire, that challenge that you crave, and start taking action to it. And as Mars also opposes Saturn, something's going on that week about it here. I'll just do it day by day like I usually do. Tuesday, Mercury will be going into Taurus. After this spark that we created on Monday, it's time to do something with it. What can we build with it? Let's get real. Let's get clear. Let's get determined. Let's get focused. And with Mercury being in Aries, it was just kind of like energy everywhere. Like, let's just kind of go for it all and everything like that. And now with Mercury in Taurus, it's like, after this whole retrograde thing, what this Mercury retrograde was really about was, you know, shifting the way that you really think, that the way that you really see things, and the way that is going to serve you and what's not going to serve you. And as it goes back into Taurus, it's like, we did all that work with Mercury retrograde. Now it's time to move forward, and now it's time to build off that. What can we create? What can we envision? You know, what can we truly actually build? Something that's beautiful, something that's great, something with this is Mercury, this is our mindset, this is our day-to-day activities, this is the mundane stuff of life. And how can you create beauty? How can you create more love and more abundance with this? This is Taurus we're talking about. This is that earth energy of, you know, everything's calm, everything's cool, the family's all together, relationships are good, energy's good, everything's stable, and you get to see the beauty in all these little things, and how secure everything is. And this is what Mercury and Taurus is all about. It's about realizing what that energy looks like in your life and acknowledging it and being aware of it and wanting to create more of it. And then the moon will be in Aquarius. It'll be squaring Uranus and Mercury. However, the Pluto square is going to be ending on Wednesday. However, with the moon in Aquarius, after going through this Capricorn of kind of being like, oh, we're kind of a little bit tough on ourselves, a little bit less emotional, a little bit colder, still changing the way that we look at things. With this moon in Aquarius is what I love about the Capricorn Aquarius shift. It goes from being so laser focused on one idea and that it's got to be this way, to being open to any and every idea and what you can actually create. And as this moon goes into Aquarius, start looking at what kind of fun that you can have. You know, look at things through a different perspective. Like, I saw this great fucking quote the other day on this back of this car, and it said, when was the last time you did something for the first time? And that just really spoke to me. And with this moon going into Aquarius, this is a time to do something different. This is a time to experience something new. Like, when was the last time you did that? And it's going to be squaring Uranus and Mercury, so you're going to feel very uncomfortable doing it, and it's going to bring up a lot of things about it, but do it anyway. Experience something new. Learn from it. This is that time. This is time to get out of your comfort zone and start to get out of your shell of this, you know, of what we've been experiencing. It's time to fully embrace who you really are. On Wednesday, moon will be trining Mars, trining Jupiter, making a nice grand air trine. This is bringing up a lot of the intellectual stuff about things. You know, the air signs rule more of the intellectual behaviors and the ideas of what society can create and how they work with society, if that makes sense. So with this grand air trine with Jupiter, Mars, and the moon's going to be in Aquarius, having us look at bigger ideas, bigger, you know, what other perspectives can we look at? Mars and Gemini is wanting to just go in a billion different directions, and then Jupiter and Libra is wanting us to look at what all these relationships and where they lead us to. And it's all about, how can we like live in the land of Ant? How can, even though none of this makes sense, you know, you could have, you know, whatever situation you're going through with your life, you can look at this and, you know, this doesn't really make sense. There's so many options. It's about looking at things through a different perspective and taking action on it. It's about, you know, what I've been saying these past couple weeks with Mars and Gemini. It's about taking one step at a time and just being focused on one thing. And, you know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but you got to learn. And now you understand more, and you can use that knowledge for future references. Sorry, I have a sore throat. Pluto will stop squaring Mercury too. So with this Mercury retrograde, it was squaring Pluto the whole time, really transforming the way our ideas work and the way our mindset works and everything like that. And as Pluto stops squaring it, it's like, it's time to create something new. It's time to do something better. It's time to look at things through a more abundant perspective. The moon will then be sextiling Venus, be making a nice little kite, with Jupiter opposing Venus and everything like that. And as the moon sextiles Venus, this is going back to what this whole Venus retrograde thing and this whole Venus in Aries is about what do you want, what do you desire, what are you worth, and all that kind of stuff. And as the moon goes in Aquarius, you could start to understand and see more of a different perspective of what I've been talking about. You know, you could, this past couple weeks, you'd be like, oh, I don't know what Cameron's really talking about. I only see things one way. This is that week where you can start to see things in a different way. And when it comes to you, you could experience resistance with it. Resistance, the definition of resistance is not accepting what is. And when you experience resistance with this, you got to learn that sometimes it's not going to look the way that you want it to, and you're not going to expect it, but go for it anyway for the experience. And that's where you're truly going to know and you're truly going to experience. Going back to what I just said earlier, you know, when was the last time you did something for the first time? Do it this week. Do it this week. Thursday, Wednesday is going to tee us up. It's going to be intense energy, not like what we've been experiencing, you know, with this big like life type of stuff. It's going to be more of this like understanding energy, this flow with energy, and it's going to be really nice. And that's going to tee us up for Thursday and Friday when we have these beautiful days. Venus will leave its shadow, because on Wednesday it's going to be at 12 degrees where it went retrograde, and then on Thursday as it moves into 13 degrees, it's out of shadow. Venus is finally moving forward with everything that we've done in relationships in the past since like January. As January entered, when Venus hit 26 degrees Pisces and conjuncted Chiron, that was the beginning of Venus's shadow area. So since January, we've been experiencing all this love and relationship stuffs and how things look and how things are, what we want for ourselves and what we truly desire. And as it's finally out of shadow after these 5 fucking months, we get to finally move forward with things and use this to your advantage, use this to your benefit. Don't be afraid, don't hold back. Move forward with whatever it is that's gonna put you more in power and that's gonna make you feel more alive and feel more adventurous and creative. The moon will be sextiling Saturn, and it'll also be sextiling Uranus and Mercury. So going back to this moon in Aquarius, as it sextile Saturn, this is that karmic stuff. The thing is with Saturn is that he's there to teach you a lesson. It's not like, oh, Saturn's just not even doing anything. Saturn's always doing something. And so when the moon's sextiling it, it's like, okay, now we're out of this Venus shadow, or the moon's in Aquarius, we're being able to open up more to emotions and relationships, seeing different perspectives of what we want and how that can really look. And with Saturn there, this is a big deal. This is karmic energy. This is discipline. This is something that's going to come back into your life soon, or it's been repeating in your life. So use this to your advantage. If you don't want to experience something, you know, it's like the definition of insanity. If you do something over and over again, doing it the same way and expecting different results. Do something different this week. With the moon sextiling Saturn, it's time to look at things through a different perspective and take action on it. And even though the Saturn's going to be opposing Mars this whole week, Mars opposed Saturn with this Gemini Sagittarius energy. It's like Mars and Gemini, there's like, oh, I got all this stuff I want to do, I just don't know what to focus on. I got this adventure in this area and all this and this and that. Saturn wants you to take that energy and just focus on one fucking thing. Just what is the main issue in everything? What is the leading cause of you wanting to go and do all these things? And it's like, speaking for me, you know, for example, I'm doing astrology, I'm doing music, I'm also DJing weddings, I got all these things going on. However, I want to keep focusing on all of them. I have a natal Mars in Gemini, so this is like really enhanced for me. And right now, I have to look at the, you know, what do I really want to be focusing on at this moment? Like, you know, all of these things in my life, all have the same vibration to them. They all, I mean, they're completely different things, but there's one thing that I'm trying to get out of all of them, and I just want these things in different perspectives. And Saturn and Sagittarius, even though it's going over my 12th house, about to go over my ascendant, which is a whole nother story, it's about what feeling am I wanting to create, and what feeling do I want to go after, and I got to focus on one thing, and I just got to go for it. The other things will come. Don't worry about. It's not about, you know, oh, if I do this, if I settle for this, I'm not going to be able to do that. It's not about settling. You can live in the land of N and experience everything, but it's about what feeling are you looking for? What is the main idea, the main philosophy behind what it is that you want to do? And you got to get clear on that, and you got to focus on it, and you got to go towards that. And that's why I've been saying with this Mars and Gemini, it's about focusing one thing at a time and not getting distracted, not getting caught up in all these things. Then Friday, I know I kind of went on a little bit for Thursday, but Friday, the moon will be conjuncting Neptune in Pisces. We have Mercury leaving its shadow, and the moon's going to be squaring the sun. Friday's exciting. As Mercury leaves its shadow, it's like it just entered Taurus. It's like, okay, we feel this energy again, and as it goes, and as it leaves its shadow, it's like, holy shit, we are in this new world. We are creating different things, different, better things are actually happening for us, and we get to use this energy and use this idea of being able to create what we want, what is beautiful, what is really truly valuable to us, and what's more authentic to ourselves. Hint, hint. We're going to be able to create that. And it's about, what are you doing every day? What's going on in your mind? Because this is Mercury. It rules communication. It rules your internal dialogue. It rules what you're doing every fucking single day. What are you thinking? What are you telling yourself? You know, what are good beliefs? What are bad beliefs? What are your habits? What are your bad habits? This goes into Taurus. You can get a little bit stubborn. It can get a little bit uncomfortable with things, with change especially. However, it's time to look at what resources, what security that we want to create, how we want to stabilize ourselves, and how we can make that beautiful and abundant. And as it moves out its shadow, it's like, man, it's time to go. It's time to actually build. It's time to focus. It's time to get determined. It's time to get strong. And as the moon conjuncts Neptune going into Pisces and squares the sun, as the sun is in its last degrees of Taurus, and then we'll go into Gemini season, which will be, that's going to be the game changer. That's going to be the shift that we've been kind of waiting for in May. Even though things have been going kind of good, it's kind of like, what's going to happen with sun going to Gemini? It's going to be like, whoa, where did all that stuff come from? So with the moon conjuncting Neptune, I've been talking about this ever since the moon, every time the moon goes into Neptune, is getting clear on your intuition, your emotions. What's really, like, the Neptune, Pisces, all that kind of energy rules your subconscious. It rules your, things that you don't acknowledge about yourself, repressed things about yourself. And this is all involving intuition, your highest, like, it rules divinity, it rules your higher self, it rules all these crazy, like, spirituality things. And with this moon in Pisces, it's time to start trusting your intuition and what your dreams are and what you can envision, and believing that you can actually create it. And it's not about, you know, like, I would say if, like, the moon's in, you know, Taurus or, like, Libra or Cancer, it's about believing. But, like, when it's in Pisces, it's about knowing. It's like, you got to know that you know that you know that it's going to happen, and that it's all going to work out in your favor. You got to know that you know that you know that you'd bet $20 billion on it, whatever number, whatever it is. So get clear this week. You know, look at things through different through a different perspective. Do things differently. Change. You know, it's not like anyone's pushing you off the cliff this week. It's about you're taking the step off the cliff yourself, and it's not like, you know, you're gonna fall and die. It's like, you know, people, it's like, imagine cliff jumping. Everyone's going, everyone's jumping, everyone's having a good time, and it's not like we're all here pressuring you like, hey, you need to jump, it's your turn. It's about, no, you're gonna go when you want to go, and this is the best week to make that decision, to just jump and take that leap of faith, do something different. And that's what I'm gonna leave you guys with for this week. So I just gotta say, this is a really crazy week. This is a really big week, and it's not intense energy. No one's pressuring you. It's not gonna feel like, you know, all this stuff. It's gonna feel like a big release. But use this to your advantage. Just don't. It's kind of like, you know, when you get home from work, and you could either just sit there and be like, oh, I just want to relax and this and that, like all that kind of stuff. Like, finally it's all over. It's like, no, like, you're finally home. You are with your family. Whatever it is you want to go do this. Like, now that you're home, now that you're not working, and now that you have a moment to think for yourself and be clear, like, go do what you want. Use this to your advantage. It's kind of like, you know, instead of going and complaining about work and sitting on the couch, just being like, I need a moment to not be stressed out. Like, go have dinner with your family. Go experience something new that you haven't done before yet. Go embrace whatever power it is that you're feeling. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to leave you guys off with. Thank you so much for watching all my videos. I love the fucking shit out of you guys. That's the only reason why I keep doing this, because you guys just keep watching my videos, and you guys, I don't know, you guys just give me a lot of support, a lot of feedback, a lot of encouragement, and I appreciate every single one of you. If you guys want to follow me on my YouTube, or if you want to subscribe, I should say, I'd just super appreciate that. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at whitelightcam. Follow me on Facebook on www.facebook.com/whitelightastrology. Or if you'd like to check out my music, I do a lot of EDM, future bass, dubstep, all that kind of stuff. Check out my SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/whitelightcam. And also, I wanted to make a quick announcement. I'm not going to be doing the daily videos anymore. It's kind of sucking the energy out of me, and I don't want to give you guys half-ass shit, if that makes sense. I can't give to people when I don't have anything to give to myself. So I'm looking at other creative ideas as far as how I could bring you guys astrology every single day, how I could always be there to, you know, enlighten you guys and to support you guys and to give you encouragement. So I'm also open to other ideas if you guys are interested. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, other than that, I'll be seeing you guys next week. So I'm sending you a lot of love, abundance, and of course, white light.